You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's my man Crunch. Shout out to Crunch.
It does look like a knee, a bended knee. Like, yeah.
But I'm pretty
Proposal,
sure that
forehead, ass. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
do your thing. But I just get the feeling that there's not too many surprises that people had when they saw that you took to that profession.
Yeah, it wasn't too many. Wasn't too many surprises for that. But one of the funniest things, I was hosting the show and I saw one of my sixth grade teachers in the crowd, and Mr. Gill. And when he saw me perform after the show, he said, "You know what? I'm not surprised, not one bit." He taught
Yeah.
history at Glenfield School in Montclair. And when he saw me after the show, he's like, "I'm not surprised, not one bit. You always was like a funny dude in school." And
So the Mr. Gill, was he stuck in time and used to wear old suits and had slick hair, white guy?
yeah, I don't know about the he didn't wear slick. I don't know about the slick hair, glasses. Used to wear.
Listen, Mr. Gill, that was a name. I think it was the name of a teacher. I went to Essex Catholic down the hill from Montclair.
Okay.
And that name sounds familiar. But you spoke about your wife earlier, right?
Yeah.
And so I follow you on Instagram.
You invited her too?
I follow you on Instagram, right? So I'm looking at it and I say, yo, I don't know who's funnier between you.
Oh, she is.
Or
she's
your
hilarious.
wife.
She's hilarious. No, it's my wife.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm surprised that you're still married because you bug the shit out of her all the time, and it's hilarious, man. And I wish I had the guts to be that way.
Well, you know what? It's going to it keeps her young in the long run. I had a great grandmother that lived to be 102, and I bugged the hell out of her. So that's the key to longevity, is laughing, laughter and just smiling and just being happy together. But my wife, we click. She's definitely a lot funnier than I am. I think she's hilarious to me.
You know what, man? So maybe I need to switch seats and. Nah, we get to that later on. But listen, so Calvin, shout out to Calvin. What's good?
What up, Calvin?
Matter of fact, he went to Montclair Immaculate, so that's ties. And I want to say
some stuff there.
Yeah, we had to wear uniforms. That's just Catholic, Montclair, all of that. Let me take this jacket off.
Go ahead. You got professional up in the crib. This is a real goddamn interview. You got a blazer on.
Let me tell you why I threw the blazer on. I threw the blazer on because
it's brand new.
That's the diva vibe. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like I started sipping stuff other than what I started sipping fermented liquid. I said, yo, I just got a diva vibe. That's why I know I met you at. Shout out to Double D. You know what I mean? The hardest working man in show business.
Hey, that man! I got some stories with Double D. That's
my gosh! That's for a totally different show.
Hell yeah!
That's for a totally different show. So you've been married for how long?
16 years.
God bless you, bro. God.
Thank you, brother. Yes, obey.
You know what I'm saying? God bless. So, and you've been doing comedy for how many? For the same amount of time, right?
Same amount of time.
Check this out. Being a retired club promoter.
Yeah.
Actually, I ain't retired. I pretty much was given an ultimatum without being given an ultimatum. If you don't get your together, stop coming in here at 5 a.m, it's gonna be. And I said, all right, cool. You win, I lose, it's over.
Right.
And I'm very competitive. So
thank you, Crunch.
How was that on the relationship? Because those are a lot of late nights. Like you out there grinding and you're trying to get your bearings. You know what I mean? And you're trying to figure out if this is something that I actually want to do. So how often? Like how was that? Was it strenuous on the relationship, or was she fully understanding, especially since she put you in the ring?
Well, when we first started, I own a ranch-style home, so that's only one floor. So I was able to get out through the window in the back by the dining room. So she didn't really know I was leaving. I was just leaving through the window and just leave my coat inside the house. She'd be like, oh, his coat's still here. I guess he must be in the basement or something. And she'd be so tired, she wouldn't even check. Yeah. So that's the key, man. First floor apartment or ranch-style home. But no, man, in the beginning, I must say it was I was burning the candle at both ends, and time became a problem. This is right before my son was born. So you really got to manage your time. You can't jump at everything. I think when I first started, the first 3 years, I was jumping at everything. I was doing every open mic, from Jersey to the city. I remember going with Double D. We performed in a freaking Chinese food restaurant in New York City. I didn't know what I was doing with this dude, Double D. I was like, Double D, what are you talking about? He's like, you got minutes. You got minutes. Come on, we gonna get some minutes. We get 10 minutes in the corner of a Chinese food restaurant. And it was just real awkward because, some of the people were just there to eat. And it was like 5 people that was there for the show. And I don't even think they really promoted it. I think we just crashed the show. But you end up doing everything because you're new. And you're being told that, your time on stage is important. It's you got to get your minutes up. And not only that, is that you want to get comfortable on stage. So I was just hitting up everything, every situation, just places where comedy wasn't even invited. Like all of a sudden they just stopped the club and they stopped the music. Like, we got some comedy. And everybody like, man, what the fuck is this? Why are we doing this shit? And you got to go and you got to fight and just do your thing. And, I was out there almost every night. And there was a lot of times when my wife and I was bumping heads, just simply because there was no form or structure to what I was doing. So any comedian getting into it, and if you are involved in a relationship, you got to be mindful of that. You can't be selfish with that time. I was selfish with that time. I learned. And nowadays I don't chase everything. I've been in the game for a while, but when you are new, you do want to set like a schedule. If there's certain open mics that are on Wednesdays, then let your lady know, like, hey, on Wednesdays, I'm going to be hitting up this mic just to cut my teeth here. And I'm going to be doing 2 other mics. Just kind of space it out because you can get lost, man. You could be out here every single night just doing anything, coming home to like 2, 3 in the morning, and that's not cool on any relationship. So it did,
All right, I'm gonna stop you now, man, because you're gonna get a lot of people in trouble, including me, because
okay.
I used to think the exact opposite. You know what I mean? And that shit definitely took a toll.
Yeah.
But shout out to Kyle. What you got?
What up?
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kelvin. Shout out to Will. All Hands Life Insurance. Shout out to Crunch. Shout out to all these people tuning in. Shout out to my cuz out of Westchester County. You know
shout
what I mean?
out. What's up, yo?
Shout out to everybody in here.
What up, cuz? What up, everybody?
We are now tuned in with the TKB report. I'm K. Langevin, as you know, and this is funny man extraordinaire Ty Raney. So, you establish yourself as a comedian. You establish that this is something that I actually want to do.
Yeah.
Can you think of a pivotal point in those Chinese restaurant rooms, in those Italian restaurants, in those church basements, in somebody's attic, where you said, you know what, this is exactly what I want to do, and I actually belong?
I think it was the first time the graduation class for the Manhattan Comedy School. I think that the graduation from that was, you work 3 months on a 5-minute set, and your graduation was you get to perform that 5-minute set at Caroline's. Caroline's on Broadway in New York. And I think right during that show right there was like my first time like on a stage in front of people and just kind of fighting through that fear of public speaking. And I think right at that moment, I was like, oh shit, like I like this nervous feeling, because I still get that nervous feeling. I don't think you really shake it. I still get that nervous, the jitters. I'll be trying to think of an excuse not to do the show. Like, yo, my stomach hurt. I don't know if I can do it. Like, I'm always thinking of ways to get out of it, but I love it at the same time. So I need it. But I think that was the moment where I said, yo, I want to do something with this. I got a rush from it. And then hearing the crowd, react and seeing people come up to you after the show, like, hey, you were really funny, and just kind of just interacting with them for that moment, and them just taking a minute off their worries and just laughing and joining you with a couple of jokes or stories that you got. It's a lot. So I got it. It's like a rush, So I think that was the turning point for me. I said, I could do something with this. I like this. I'm going to keep on doing it.
All right. So comedy, you're on stage, you are being that's pretty much performer's most vulnerable state because it's live.
Yeah.
it's not like you can say cut, do it again, cut, get him out of here, cut. So
Yeah.
are there any moments that come to mind where you said, yo, you know what, this is a little rough? Because I've seen comedians get into some tight spots and, you know, heckling starts
Oh, hell yeah.
and you don't know how far it's gonna go. You don't know if the person that's heckling is
It's
trying to be
connected.
funny, if they could
If they connected, they're gonna try to meet up with you after the show.
after the show. You know what I
You
mean?
know?
Any moments that come to mind about, you know, some touch and go moments when it comes to that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I had a lot of those touch and go moments in the beginning because I always would engage with the crowd. And when I first started, you know, I wasn't really doing a whole lot of material. It was just whatever observational comedy, whatever's happening right there in the moment, and whatever I was experiencing that day. That's what I would talk about. But sometimes that would just have me going around the bar, just picking people out as targets, and that could be dangerous depending on where you at. You know, because some people don't want to fucking joke. They're like, "Yo, man, I ain't here for all that joking shit, man." He's like, "My bad, brother. I didn't know." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, you
yeah.
know, I got a lot of those situations. Thankfully, it didn't get into a predicament where anything got physical. But I've had situations where I was doing prison tours, and I think that's got to be the worst. Yeah, over in Pennsylvania, we're doing prison tours, and I think that's the.
That
It's
ain't funny,
only.
bruh.
It's not funny, but the funny thing is, this is the funny thing for me. Like bombing is funny, but it's funny because if you bomb in a bar, right? You can just leave the bar. You just walk out like, fuck it. They didn't get my humor. It was a weak
Yeah.
ass crowd. You can say whatever. A club, you don't do well at the club. The club is weak on Wednesdays. It's a corny crowd. You know what I'm saying? You can make whatever excuse. But when you in a prison, you in the prison to make them laugh, and you can't leave. If you ain't make them laugh and you bombed, like I remember one time I bombed in prison. You know, it ain't nothing like a prison boo. Listen. No homo, pause. Like a prison boo, like when they boo you, you feel that shit to your bone marrow. Like I can still feel the vibration of the boo in one of these prisons. They got at me one time. They booed the shit out of me. And what made it sad is that we're in a gymnasium and I have to wait for 3 other brothers to go. So I'm sitting off on the side. These niggas are still looking at me going like this, just shaking their head, looking at me because I can't just leave and go wait in the car. We in a maximum security, so we gotta leave together. So
You
after
gotta get an escort.
son, after you get booed, you gotta sit there and look at all the inmates. You just looking at them like this. Ain't no other room. You're sitting there. And you know what really hurt my heart? One time I got booed and they had a good time. They enjoyed the show. And then right while they were leaving the gym, 2 of the inmates turned around and was like, "Yo, when y'all coming back?" And I said, "Yo, we might come back in 2 months." Dude was like, "Not you." I was like, I felt so bad. I felt so bad to the CEO. I was like, "Yo, can we leave now? Can we just walk? Can we leave now?" Yo,
Oh man.
but that stuff builds you up, man. You're gonna get booed. Everybody's not gonna like you. It comes with the territory, but it is what it is. It makes you a better comedian. I appreciate all that stuff, the good and the bad.